Bring the funk back.
There we go. I've got to check, make sure I'm unmuted and everything's working. So don't forget to give us a bit of a thumbs up when I, or a bit of a jib when I forget to unmute somebody. Just waiting on somebody to, here we go. Yep, we're just waiting on login. So that's all good. Let's see who's on. We got Scotty, we got Ellie on, we got Fish on, we got Braden, Sean, Peter, we've got heaps going. So, yes, all good. Listen, big night tonight. Obviously, we've got the big guest on himself in Matty Langford, but we've got to cover a lot because late this afternoon, I got a phone call from Bill Latimer, our apprentice, and he told us that he wanted to try and raise some money for the fishermen in the area around Lismore. And, of course, what happens is I get bombarded with donations, and I really do appreciate it. It's made a hectic start to the show, but I think I've got everything in line. We've got a heap of donations, and we're going to auction them all off, and that money's going to go directly to people in the Lismore area. So we're still doing our normal prizes. Matty has offered up a prize pack to give away later on. We have also got Harry's pick a box here, or you can take what's in the mystery box over here. That'll be decided later on tonight. Doyle has told me, Ricky Doyle has told me not to start the show. He's on his way home. So obviously he's seen something in those prize packs he wants. And I've got to give a big shout out to Sean Ezzy, who is in the hospital at the moment, watching from his hospital bed. So get well soon to Sean. I've got Matty's prize pack, Harry's box, postcode prize, and we're going to auction off a heap of prizes. So how the auctions work, I will open up the auction prices very, very soon, and you just bid away in the comments. Harry's going to watch who's leading each of the categories. So we'll label the categories and so on and so forth. So hopefully that makes sense. I will cut those off with about probably 10 minutes to go. We'll give you a last chance to bid at them with about 10 minutes to go, and then we'll announce the winners from there. There'll be no coming back and saying, oh, I bid higher or I bid lower. It doesn't matter. It's all for charity. So the highest bid that we see will win. All right. So let's go through some prizes here at the moment. I've got some lure packs here for the postcode prize. So if you've got the postcode, put your postcodes in to win a prize in that one. All right. So hopefully that all makes sense. I've just got some stuff going on behind the scenes. Just making sure that everything is working here while I talk. All right. What have we got? I've got to bring a message up here so I know what I'm talking about when I quote what is actually in each prize pack. So just bear with me, guys. As I said, this was only thrown on me about an hour ago, and I'm just trying to get it all set up again. So we have something for everyone, something for all over the country. All right. We have prizes in Melbourne. We have prizes in Queensland. We have prizes that can be posted out. So all of these things that you want to bid for, you'll be able to bid for no matter where you are. You don't have to be in a certain area to get these items at the auction that we're holding tonight. It was a last minute thing, so I'm just working on this. So in no particular order, obviously you already know about Matty Langford has offered up a charter for, here we go, if I bring this up on the screen. So Matty has a half-day charter, so you'll be bidding on that tonight later on. I'll open up the bidding on that later on. But these are, I'm just nominating what the prizes are. So Matty's done a charter. Let's hide that one. We've got Matty's also the retro shirt. So this is, I believe I'll let Matty talk more about that later on, but that's the first year's shirt that he won the AOY in for that one. Then everyone's rang me up going forward from there. Cod Dog Lures, Ricky Goward rang me up. He's donated a line pack. So that's all line, Siglon lines, valued around $450. He's also, that's the wrong one. Hang on, get rid of that one. He's also done a lure pack as well. So that one's there. And then for all the Victorians that want to jump in, now I've got to get this one right. This up. This is tickets to the footy tomorrow night. So Grant from Hira Hubby Hoppers Crossing has donated 2 plaid sponsors tickets to the Western Bulldogs versus Sydney game tomorrow night. So those tickets you can't buy. So you've got to know someone that knows somebody to get those tickets. They are side by side. There will be the 2 tickets, obviously, for the game tomorrow night at Marvel in the Quill Room. And David Lawson, who has been kind enough to get this prize for me, is also donating a $100 food and beverage tab. That'll be a prepaid Visa card, which he'll give you on the night. So whoever wants to bid for that one and get in for that one is straight up going to have a really good night at the footy. So and a late one I don't have photos for, but Brad Wixon has donated a Dobbins, I'll get this right because it's only just come through on Facebook, a Dobbins Fury FR661 spin rod and 5 wasabi spoons as well. So we'll open up the bidding on all of those in a minute, but I've got to talk to the man himself first. So I've just got to make sure that I get him on and we have a quick chat. Then we'll open up the auction items and then we'll go from there. All right. So hopefully you all know this guy and we shall bring him up and say g'day. G'day, Langers. How you going?
Yeah, g'day, Cap. How you going, mate?
Yeah, good. So, look, it's been a pretty hectic start to the season for you. Is there anything you can't do?
Oh, not really, mate. Yeah, I think there's a lot of fishermen out there that make it look hard, but yeah, this year's it's going really well. I'm enjoying it and just making it look easy.
Yeah, look, and I can see over your shoulder there. You've got all your trophies. Going
yeah.
on.
Mate, this is that's just last week's. Yeah, that's just. Yeah, I can take you for a walk through the other 3 or 4 bedrooms if you want. I'm actually looking at rental properties now, just to house all my trophies. So
that's the way to do it. So the comments are coming in. They're all loving that. They're talking to Matty. They all know that. Matty's going well. What's that? That's a new shirt there. What's that one say?
Yeah, I'm going to bring out my own clothing line. It's called Got Langard. That's just every fisherman that's fished an ABT event or a Queensland fishing tournaments event this year has got Langard at some point. So I just thought, why not throw it out there and everyone can show off that they got Langard. That's
it. And look, everyone's commenting, everyone's having a bit of a laugh. We're all having a laugh. I do have Langers on to talk tonight, and I'm watching him in the background. He is laying on the floor laughing. So we might have to get him up, Coney, and have a bit of a three-way chat to him. So I'll just bring him up right now, and we'll get the real Slim Shady up.
Yeah, cheers.
Here we go, gentlemen. How you going, Matty?
Oh, here I am getting ready, and this bloody is pretty good. I like the haircut.
Obviously, we had a very big gig lined up, but due to the fact that we've got so many auctions and so many things to give away tonight, we had to cut it a little bit short. Tony's put in a fair bit of planning on this one, and I do have to thank him, but it goes to show fishing is about having fun, and the group of guys that we hang around with do have a bit of fun. And we had some real good stuff to get on you, mate.
As soon as I seen him, I knew straight away it was a stitch up. There's a couple of points in my life when I was ready for something to happen. One was in Victoria when I got pie fished, and the other one was tonight. I knew something was going to happen. I don't know if it's over yet, but that's a good get. Right?
So obviously, having the two of you on, I wanted to talk about to the fake Langers. Obviously, Coney, you're the only one that can beat this guy for AOY. You've got to win the next 2 comps, obviously, but mathematically you can win it. We've got to apply as much pressure on him as what we can. So you think you've got it?
Oh, easy, mate. Oh, hang on, am I Langers or? No, it's going to be. It's good fun. It'll come down to the clearance. The clearance is going to be a little bit similar to last year, I suppose. It's the same time of year. We're just getting good rain coming through now, so it's going to be, going to be washed out a good flush through. So could be very similar to last year, and we were both fishing it, so we can we can both relate back to last year. But Langers has got that number 8 next to his name, and I think we all know that's not going to stay there for too long.
Well, that's the whole point. I don't think Langers has finished out of the top 15 since he started. So, and I would probably say he hasn't finished out of the top 10 in 2 years. I mean, rare vein of form there, Matty. We do have to pay tribute to that, but we'll do it in a funny way. We won't actually pat you on the back. We'll just bring you down.
Oh no, it's so fun. Like I always say, like our camp is always just full of fun, and there's always something going on. You just can't trust anyone, but I think that's what makes it so. Even if they're not there, they'll still get you. But the good thing is, I think it just helps too. Like it helps everyone's motivation and self-esteem and all that sort of stuff. It keeps you grounded, and I reckon it helps you fish better too, because at the end of the day you're going to end up back at camp with the boys having a beer. So.
Oh, for sure. And it is my social outing. I work 7 days a week in the caravan park, and I love catching up with all you boys because of the shenanigans that goes on. It's not always directed at me, which is good, but if you give something, you're going to get it at the next time you see it up. So.
Yeah, you can't ever let your guard down.
It's always good. All right, boys. Well, we better open up some auctions because we've got to talk. I'll keep you on, Coney, because I want to talk Blue Rock Glen Maggie. And you guys were both there and both did really, really well. So it sort of worked out in a way that we've got the winner of both rounds on tonight and a bit of fun to be had. But we really want to raise some money for the flood victims up there in Lismore, and we've had some huge donations. So if you want to go in and bid for these items, you do it in the comments, same as what you've done with your postcode. So later on, we will draw out a postcode prize, which I've already announced. Langer's giving away a prize for one of the best questions. I'm giving away, or Harry's giving away a prize for a question as well. But we've got the things, and we're going to start them off. And I think I'll stagnate them in between little chats. So we'll get the first one started, and then we'll go from there. All right, Ricky's there. All I've been doing is stalling time for Ricky to get on because he told me until he got home, so he's all on. So what we have, I'm going to start off with the footy tickets donated, as I said, by, I've got to get this right, Grant from Hire a Hubby at Hoppers Crossing has donated the 2 footy tickets. They're in the Quill Room. You can't get those tickets. So for anyone that wants to go to the Bulldogs Sydney game tomorrow night at Marvel Stadium, Dave Lawson from Lawson Wyndham Real Estate has also chucked in a $100 voucher for food and drinks and whatnot. So that is huge. That would have been worth a lot of money. I know you guys don't follow AFL, but if Buddy hadn't have kicked these thousands goal last week, those tickets would be worth a fortune this week, and we wouldn't be able to even auction them off. But we'll start off with the footy tickets. So if you put your bids in now for the footy tickets, and we'll keep an eye on them as we go. Now, it feels like a long, long time ago we were at Glen Maggie and Blue Rock, and a lot's happened since then. But how's your memory, guys? Are you all over what happened?
Yeah, you never forget them ones.
So we'll start with you, Coney, in the sense that rags to riches. In 2 days of comp fishing, you blew it out of the water day one, and then you did the most unique thing that I've seen, most patient thing that I've seen from you in general, but in fishing, for that one fish on the Sunday to win it. You had Keegan Painter running up your arse, right? You didn't know what was happening, but you sat there for that one fish. Tell us about that whole experience on day 2.
Yeah, it was just I knew I could go and catch a few little ones off the edge, like first thing, like most people. But like in hindsight, I really didn't think 200 grams, 250 grams was really going to help me. I literally said that I'm spending all day out there. There was a couple of times my non-boater said, should we make a move or should we try something different? And I just turned to him and I said, I have nothing else. This is it. I have to make this work. So the fish were there, and I knew every bite I had out there was a 35 centimeter fish, which is, getting up to that 900, to 1.1 kilos. So I knew 1-2 bites that day was going to get me, more than anyone else was going to catching the, them 20 centimeter fish. So it was sort of all or nothing, but I literally had nothing else to lean on.
And that's being the fact that you've never done that situation before and been at that. You've never been to Glen Maggie before, had you?
No, never seen Glen Maggie until pre-fish day, and I guess the only other thing that sort of instilled a bit of confidence in me was that I had that whole area to myself. So I knew that I could rotate them lie downs and stumps and shrubs and whatever else, and give them fish time once I marked 2 or 3 trees that actually held good fish. But Sunday they'd all moved off, so I expanded on the area, but it was unpressured. So I thought Sunday was going to be a lot better than Saturday, because I didn't pull up out there till about 11 o'clock on the first day. So I thought Sunday was going to be a lot better, but typical, tournament fishing, it always throws a curveball, and just not knowing the habits of the fish or how they set up and stage at different times of the year down there. It's
Yeah, and we talk about a time on the water. Obviously, you've had no time on that water pressure, so you don't know whether the fish will come back or whether they're going to turn up at 11 o'clock. And that big question that goes through every tournament fisherman's head: do I stay or do I go? Do I stay? And then it runs you ragged. But you sat out there. We had a little internal joke within our group who was going to be the first person to turn up and come out and meet you. Nobody did. It was really surprised me.
No one marched out there, so it was it was good.
And Langers, that was a poor result for you, 8th place at Glen Maggie. We say that with tongue in cheek, 8th place. Anybody else would be happy to get an 8th place, but it's a different waterway. It was you didn't find that magic tree. You didn't have that little fairy come and whisper in your ear and tell you where to go. It was a bit different, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was different. Glen Maggie, the last time I fished it, I know it was totally different to how it's sort of set up this time. And there's been discussion since about, a lot of the big fish actually going over the wall or going down below or whatever. But I think this time around, the way I sort of approached it was just to get 5. Obviously, that's what we're all trying to achieve. But with the app, you can weigh in 20 centimetre fish and get points. So I knew that I could bag out early both days, and I knew I could do that easily. But the catch was trying to catch bigger fish. So bigger fish meaning down there, a 27's illegal down there. To try and, achieve getting a 27. I did cotton on to, getting some bigger bites, but in hindsight, and like I said, in hindsight, if I had have kept up with the deal that I found to get the bigger ones, I should have stuck with it. And what I found was in pre-fish, everyone was fishing rock walls and one particular side of the dam. See, Mitch found something very unique that no one else found, and that was the beauty of how Mitch won it, because no one, and it was great to see, no one else went out there and pressured him. But what I'd sort of found up one end of the dam, there was a heap of flooded timber or flooded eucalypts or ghost gums or something, and I got onto a bite in this one particular set of trees, I picked up some legal fish. But when I finished, I had a real good look around, and there was tons of those trees. I'm kicking myself now, thinking, I should have kept running every single one of those trees, and maybe I would have got my bag. But hindsight's a beautiful thing, and I think I was just a little bit slow on that one. But I can't complain. I got an 8th place finish isn't too bad. So I definitely want to. I definitely want to fix that, get a better placing than 8 though.
It'll take the pressure off, but you've got to win, Clarence, to guarantee. For anybody out there, or you guys even, has anyone ever won AOY from basically 4 wins?
Not to my knowledge, not to my knowledge, but I think it was a little bit different in the younger, in the like earlier stages. Not as many rounds in that, but
yeah. Because
Charles West?
I can remember Dean in the Bass Nation won 3 and didn't win AOY. He come second to Dane Radosevic, who had 4 seconds. But I don't think anyone's ever had a perfect score for AOY. So, once again, we're applying more and more pressure that we can on the Langers to try and make him make a mistake at some stage along the way.
Well, like you said, look at Dean and Dane. Dean won 3 and still got beat. So anything's possible. But I think Westy in the Electrics, did he do a clean sweep one time or won 4 tournaments or something? He did. One year he was exceptionally good.
Don't forget, put your bids in for the tickets. Dave's already bidding on his own ticket. So Western Bulldogs, Sydney Swans at Marvel Stadium tomorrow night. They're basically free tickets and a drink card. So get your bids in on that. We will take just donations on that. We are going to open up the next one, which will be Langers' shirt. So we're going to keep these flowing through. So Langers, we'll call it the retro shirt, the year 1 shirt from his first AOY title. So that's the retro shirt there to go well on the wall somewhere. I know there's some guys in there looking straight away. So put your bids in for that. Don't forget about the footy tickets. So I'll keep going on about those as we go forward. We better answer some questions since a couple come through. I can't read them unless I make them bigger. So Scotty wants to know, hey, Matty, how many times do you have to book a site at Corey's Park before he lets you in on all the fishing secrets? So pretty fair question, but Matty knows all the secrets. He's the one always telling me. So we'll just we'll get to the next one. Jeff Barry's got one here for you, Matty. Do you think live scope makes your fishing easier in comps?
The simple answer is definitely yes. Yes, definitely. There's no question about it. Just ask Mitch, I guess. Anyone that uses it, just there's absolutely no guesswork in any live imaging, no matter what brand it is. Obviously, I use LiveScope through Garmin, but you can see everything. You can see where they're sitting in, how they react to lures. The simple fact is it just makes your fishing so much easier, and you don't have to waste time on fish that don't want to eat. So, live imaging is the way to go. No questions asked.
I've said it since the word go. Forward-facing sonar is probably the biggest inclusion since the electric motor, because when your side scan and everything was good, but being able to see what's in front of you is just, game changing. Whether the fish are moving or biting, that's a whole different story. But just being able to see what you're fishing to can just build your confidence for sure. Do you have anything on that, Coney, in the sense of live side? I
was sort of skeptical at first. I was like, do you need it? Do you not? If you've got no intentions of buying live scope or forward-facing sonar, do not go out and fish with it, because once you fish with it, it changes the way you fish. I was lucky enough to borrow Bryce's boat down in Victoria, and that is the first time that I'd fished a tournament by myself using LiveScope, and I come first and second. And as soon as I got back home, I ordered LiveScope. I honestly don't think I could fish without it now that I have it, and have used it. The stuff that you see, I don't solely rely on it, and I don't get neck sore sort of thing. But when it's tough and you've got to be visual. Like there was times like at St Clair the other week that I actually jerkbaited fish in like 25 feet of water because there were shrubs that were sitting down like 10 feet, and I could throw a jerkbait literally 100 meters off the bank, twitch it down, and like watch fish come out of a shrub that's in 25 feet of water, eat a jerkbait. Like, had I not had forward-facing sonar, there is no way in the world that I would have caught 80% of the fish that I've caught lately. And I've got no affiliation with Garmin or anyone. Like, that's just, I paid for it out of my own pocket. And, honestly, could not go without it now.
Yep. Just because we were talking before the show, Matty, you've got some really cool stuff in the Garmin line coming out soon. We won't talk about that tonight. I'll leave you to release that on your stuff. But you were out testing it before the show tonight. So keep an eye out on Langers' socials for an update on the new Garmin lives. I get them all mixed up. Live Scope with Garmin, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a LiveScope Plus, the LVS 32.
Yeah. So there's some upgrades coming that way. So really cool question, Jeff. Lee's got a question here. Hey, boys, question for both. What is the biggest highlight of your fishing careers? So we'll start with Coney.
Oh, probably just gracing the Bassmaster stage and talking to Dave Mercer in the US. Winning the Australian Championship and then qualifying to go to America. Just getting to walk on stage and talk to Dave Mercer in America. That was just seeing everything over there in general, how they run their tournaments and all the rest of it. It's next level. Like, it is absolutely unbelievable.
And for people who don't know, you guys organised a trip over to South Africa, wasn't it?
Yeah, we also started a Team Australia and competed in the World Fishing Games. It's kind of like the Fishing Olympics. I think there was 13 different countries, and we went over there to South Africa and competed, and actually, 1 point off the home team, and took out the silver medal. So hopefully towards the end of this year, about October, we're going to try and get back to America. It's in America this year, so we're going to try and get to Lake Murray and, see if we can stick it up a few of the Americans. They've got a red-hot team with Jacob Wheeler and Bill Rose, Fred Rambanis. Like, it's just a stacked team. Scott Martin. So it's a stacked team, but, to be competing against some of them guys in a tournament, that's going to be that's going to be unbelievable too.
And what about in Australia, Mitch? So we've got your team stuff in South Africa. You've got your qualification through, that was Bass Nation, wasn't it, when you went over for that one? So what about in Australia? What's your highlight? You've got grand final wins or AOIs, or what have you got that's your biggest standout?
Grand final wins are something special. They're pretty hard to beat, but that'd have to be right up there. The grand final win, just how it all went down. But competing with Matty on AFC was another highlight for me too. That was as you say, you watch it growing up, and that sort of got us all keen on fishing. So that was another really big moment too.
Yep, had a few years of that. All right, Langers, we haven't got time for you, so we'll go on to the next question. No,
you want me to answer?
Yes.
Look, exactly what.
Can you remember? There's been that many lately.
No, I think the biggest thing is the opportunities that fishing gives you if you pursue it. I've fished in South Korea. Fished over there. That was an amazing experience fishing for largemouth with a ton of guys that couldn't speak English, but you can just understand each other because you're fishing. Fishing's like a universal language. It was good to talk to or communicate with those guys over there. Like Mitch said, fished Lake Hartwell in America. Unfortunately, Dave Mercer was sick in the comp that I fished. That's one thing I was really looking forward to, having Mercer commentate. But same deal over here. Just the opportunities. Fishing the Victorian doubleheader. Meeting people and having good mates down in Melbourne. AFC. You can't. Me and Mitch have had so many wicked experiences in AFC over the last few years. It's not just fishing the AFC. It's the little things that we do away from it too. You know, the little places we go and fish. Like some of our best barra fishing wasn't even televised. We just went out with a guide and or to a little dam or a little place and just smoke big ones. You know, but yeah, that's how it is. It's good fun.
But you always catch the good ones when the cameras aren't rolling.
Most of the time.
All right, Alison, got a question here. What advice would you give to a first-time rookie fishing a tournament?
You want to do that one, Mitch?
Jump in, have a go. Yeah, don't be afraid. Just yeah, I think if you're like willing to learn and you're doing it like to go in there and learn, like there's no better place to do it than the ABT, and you know, like you get practically a charter for $150. Like if you're just there, willing to go, listen, learn, do what you like. Just yeah, I honestly jump in, do it. You won't regret it.
Yeah. Matty, you got any tips for Alison?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is I definitely try and start at the bottom and work your way up. Definitely the ABT non-boater deal is the go, because like exactly what Mitch said, it's very affordable. You learn off a ton of guys and you just pick so much stuff up you can add to your game. But I'd highly recommend start at the bottom. It's like doing your apprenticeship. Just do your time, and once you feel confident enough to do it in your own boat, then go for it. Just back yourself and do it.
All right, I'm just reading through. We've got heaps of questions there that we can cover, but I think we're sitting at $5.50 for the shirt.
Yeah.
At this stage.
Got Lawson's in trouble.
Don't forget that this money is all going to basically fishermen up in the Lismore region that have been, struggling. Their insurance isn't paying out or whatnot. It's going directly to people that we know. So it's not actually, going to the Red Cross and it's going to be divvied out that way. It's the same as the ABT. We put the hat around at Glenbourne, and it goes directly within the family. So these have all been donated from within the family, and the money will go back out. So the
guys at the Family Bassin event at St Clair this weekend are doing a very similar thing as well. They're going to been a few donations, and I think Mal Draper's organised a lot of it, and that'll be really good too. So if you're fishing the Family Bassin event at St Clair this weekend,
take some extra cash.
Yeah,
for sure. All right, so we've got the footy tickets up at the moment. We've got Langers' shirt up at the moment, and we're gonna go next with we'll go the line package. So that was I think it was the Siglon line. So I'm going to bring this one up on the screen here. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 lots of line there and some leader. So donated by Cod Dog Lures. Ricky Goward's donated them. So put your bids in for those ones there as we go. Just call bid for line. Langers' shirt, just put a label on it so we know what you're bidding on. We don't want to say that somebody might put $600 on Langers' shirt, but we think it's for the line. So we don't want you to miss out on that sort of thing. All right, let's go back on. We've got more questions which we'll cover as we go forward a little bit, but Peter's got a good one here. Your socials during the week, Langers, you put a video up, and I was at Bunduma for a long period of time and never ever saw a carp catcher. Where did they come from?
I got no idea where they've come from. They've obviously either been in a farmer's dam that's overflowed, or a section of the Boyne or Stewart River that's been locked up for a little bit without the water, and they've just bred really well. But if we caught 3 in one boat, I heard of 6 or 7 being caught, and they're all 40 centimetres long. So they've been in one of the systems for a bit and been able to get fairly big. and they just flushed down with the flood. But what concerns me is Glenbourne years ago, you didn't see many carp, and you might see a group here and there, but now, Mitch warned us about it there a while back, just saying that, it's, it's basically just gone into sort of plague proportions now. Like that one morning in an hour, I caught 7 on a jerkbait, and I couldn't get away from them, so I left. But there was tons of guys that were just catching them heaps, and hopefully it doesn't get like that. Hopefully we get another big flush, or they die, or who knows. But there has been reports of carp coming out of there before, and even in the burnout. So we don't know what the future's going to hold.
That's really weird, but that was a great question. Listen, let's go back, all the way back to Blue Rock. We all turned up there. It was the first event of the year, the Victorian doubleheader. We're all fresh, ready to go. We had no idea it was going to happen, and a big cold snap come through and changed everything for everyone. But Langers, you seem to all of a sudden just make that right call at that right time, at that right moment, and did something that you hate doing, but you did it anyway, and you caught fish. So tell us about Blue Rock.
I think the biggest thing with making decisions in tournaments, and I've worked that out really well now, I think, is just backing yourself and having the confidence to just go and do it. With Blue Rock, I sort of cottoned onto a bit of a plastic bite shallow. I was throwing a 1/4 ounce jig head up shallow with a 2-inch Kitech, just twitching them out like I probably would at Glenbourne, I guess, when it was when it's cool. But I got onto that and fished it, and I was catching my bag pretty well. But my good fish every day, like I get my bag in an hour, but my good fish didn't come until 10:30 onwards. So obviously that heating water or the heating conditions got those bigger fish more active. And on the first day of the tournament, I found this one bushy tree that was just covered in fish, and I went past them once. They didn't eat, but then at 11 o'clock, I went past them again, and they were more active, I could see. And I don't like gulping, but I started dropping a black gulp. I mixed it up between a black gulp and a little spoon, and I found that the black gulps were catching the bigger fish. They'd shut down. Then I'd drop the spoon down and jig it vigorously in their face. One would eat it, they'd flare back up again, and I'd go back to the gulp. And I just stuck with that. I caught my decent bag Saturday or the first day to get me, up there. And then the second day, I looked for something similar. And I nearly went out into the basin, but then on my way out, I saw another big bushy tree on a bank that I hadn't been near. And I was like, that looks like that big bushy tree where I caught them fish off yesterday. And I went in there, and that was the best thing I ever did because it was stacked full of big fish. And then, I just did the same thing. The gulp and the spoon, and put that mega bag on the Sunday.
So the $1 million question, obviously everyone asks all the time, how come you're making the right decisions at the right time all of the time? Is it just the fact that you're always paying attention? Like you notice that tree because you're paying attention, where somebody else might have been eating a sandwich or having a drink or talking to their cowie on the way out and miss that tree altogether? Is it? Do you put it down to a full-on concentration thing?
I think just we talk about it all the time. It's just keeping your eyes open. Be aware. The way I always say it is just be mindful of everything. It doesn't matter whether it's the sun direction, the wind direction. The leaves falling on the water, insects. There's so many environmental variables that you can watch and take notice of. And if you're mindful of that sort of stuff, I think it goes a long way because, you can see things that other people miss. You've always got to have your eyes open and just be aware of that stuff because, yeah, that's what got it for me on the Sunday. I just saw a tree from a distance and thought, is that a tree or a bush? And I went over close and I was like, that's the same thing. And when I went in there, it was exactly the same, and there was tons of fish on it. Yeah, and like yeah, there's all reasoning behind it. That's the thing. You know, you just got to make smart decisions and know why and how it's happening.
No, excellent. Now we've got Langer's shirt, Langer's charter up. We've got the Cod Dog line, which we've got a couple of good bids on. Now the Cod Dog lure pack, we're going to put that up as well. There's Xeric lures, there's Cod Dog lures, there's Obsessions. I can't even read them. There's spinner baits in there anyway. It's a really good cod pack, so get on there and start bidding on that. As I said, all the money raised is going to charity, and we're looking after the people within our industry. We've got some really good comments coming through, guys. You guys both happy to stay on for a little bit longer?
Yeah,
Yep.
whatever. Be here as long as you need us.
What's coming through? I just got one. I think 150 Bo Everly's leading the line with at the moment.
My charter isn't up yet either, Cap.
Your charter isn't up yet?
We'll have to do that next, I reckon, after Ricky's lures.
I haven't done the charter yet.
I don't think so.
Oh, we'll open them all up.
Come on, champ.
We'll just get them all up. So Langers' charter. All right. Whoever wants to bid on Langers' charter, go for it. So all you need to do is put your bid in and write Langers' charter on it. Langers' shirt for the Langers shirt. You've got the line one for line. You've got the lure pack for lures. You've got the footy tickets. And we've got another one, as I said earlier on, the Dobbins Fury rod with 5 wasabi spoons donated by Brad Wixon. So you can donate on any of them. Just go to school and keep donating to do whatever. So we'll make sure that we'll finish about 10 minutes earlier so we can cut it off and work out who's won what. Questions. I'm going to scroll back with the questions. I've really got to get my glasses fixed, making it hard to read anything. Kyle wants to know, Langers, are you running 2 live transducers, and how do you do that compared to just one?
So this is something I haven't talked about, and only people close to me know that I'm actually doing this, but I'm actually running 2 Lyscos. So I've only been doing it for a little bit, but it's really paid dividends. But today I put the new LiveScope Plus on, and notice the big difference. So I just ran the GLS 10 transducer, which is the first LiveScope transducer on the Mick Johnson live pole from M&J Auto Solution. It works well together, and basically I've got one on my electric as well. So I use the one on the electric to basically scan, and then I use the one on the pole just to keep it in one position and just work the whole bank sort of thing. So I can tell you I don't sort of miss much. The answer to that question, though, definitely the new transducer, the LiveScope Plus. There's no, how would you say? There's no noise. It makes everything a lot more solid. So trees are more solid. The bait balls are more solid. The fish. I can't wait to see big fish images on the LiveScope Plus, like barra and cod, because I reckon you'll be able to see every part of them moving when they're swimming. I had it out today. I've only had it on the water for a couple of hours this afternoon, and I'll put up a video in the next few days about the comparison between the two, because I had the GLS 10 on one side and the LVS 34 on the other, and you could just compare and see exactly the difference between the two, and LiveScope Plus is definitely clearer.
For sure. All right, let's go back up. I'm going through the questions. It's very hard when my questions come up. I can't follow the feed. So when you're on Facebook, you get and they're replying to people's comments, it just comes up in an individual comment. And I've got to guess which ones aren't. But there's Liam's got one here for you, Langers. Do you take any supplements getting your awesome form? We'll say that's an in-joke there.
Zinc tablets. If you get a little inside tip from Liam, he'll tell you zinc tablets.
Get the zinc tablets on. I think there was more questions on that earlier on. Brandon wants to know for both of you, and we'll start with you, Tony. Will you be both back in Victoria if there's a double header again next year?
Yeah, I definitely want to. At this stage, I'm going to say yes. Obviously, can't really commit right now until they release some dates and everything. But if all goes well, I'll definitely be going down there. You got to try and defend the title, don't you? So
yeah, for sure.
And they're both awesome fisheries, and I'd actually like to take an extra day or something and fish a few of them alpine streams on the way home. It was pretty torturous for me and Tim driving past all them, really good looking trout streams on the way home. We almost stopped a few times, so hopefully, take an extra day next time.
Yeah, for sure. All right, good question, Matty. You're going down obviously again if the dates all line up.
Yeah, I'll be there.
Right, Trent's got one here. More a live scope question, Coney. You've ordered yours. You're probably like me in the sense that we're still not all over it. Langer's had his for a long time now. Do you play with the settings a lot while you're out on the water, Matty, or is it set and forget?
No, I always say a lot of the time for the type of fishing that I do, I fish freshwater all the time, but exactly what you said, I set and forget. So a lot of our sounders, no matter what brand it is, they're set up so basically you plug in, you turn them on, and they should work. Sometimes you can fiddle with the amount of megahertz or whatever it's putting out or whatever, but with what I use, the Garmin stuff, the only thing I change slightly at times is the gain. And basically the gain is just giving you, I guess, a little bit more clarity or a bit of contrast. I usually run my gain at about 68 to 70. Again, in that video that I'll show in the next few days, I show that. But mate, I basically just that's all I do. I just turn my gain up to 68 to 70, just see if I'm happy with it. I like it to be a lot lighter, so I don't want to miss anything. I want to see every single thing. That includes the bait and what's down there. So so the simple answer is no, I don't fiddle with the settings much at all.
Yeah, for sure. All right, I'm going to call Harry out because we're going to do Harry's bigger box because that's his favourite part of the week to get on the show and give away some prizes. While we're waiting for Harry to come out to do that, don't forget we've got Langers' charter up for grabs. I think I've seen there was $350 in there for your charter so far. So we've got the Dobbins rod, I think was up around the $300 mark. We've got the Cod Dog lures was up around that. We're getting up some good money on these things. $400 for the charter. There you go, Ricky Doyle. So the footy tickets, we've got the 2 Cod Dog packs. One's for the line, one's for the lures. We've got Langers' charter and Langers' shirt and Brad Wixon's Dobbins rod and Wasabi spoons. Put your bids in for those, and I will contact the winners. I won't be contacting the winners at the end of the show tonight because as soon as the show logs off, it'll give me a definite time. I can go back in and work out who's won, and I'll contact them individually. I think that's the same way. Harry's got a little list for me. He's doing that. Come in, buddy. We've got to pick a postcode prize. So we'll work out who the postcode winner is.
Hello.
Hi, Harry.
Now, just like everything with the prize, you've got to be on to win. So you've got to actually comment at the show. So we've got Gary Bowers 3690. So that's 3690. That's a local one. That's a local one to Wodonga, 3690. So Gary, you've won the postcode prize tonight. So you need to send me a message through Corey's Dam Fishing Facebook page and with your address, and I'll get that posted out to you. Hey, bud.
Hi.
How you going?
No, I'm good.
Did you pick a question tonight to who's going to win the draw?
Well, last time you did it, so I was expecting.
You were expecting me to do it? All right, I'll go through. I had one there earlier on that I really, really liked. It was Peter Wright asking about the Boondoomer, the carp in Boondoomer. So, Peter Wright, what you have to do, mate, is you have to tell us that you are still on the air and you want to tell Harry to select your prize. So, we'll just make sure that Peter's on there. Well, we're waiting for Peter to comment on anytime. There we go. I'm just going through the questions to make sure we're waiting on Peter to say that he wants Harry to pick the box. While we're waiting on that, there was a question there earlier on. I think it was actually from Paul Allwood. We'll start with you, Matty, and then we'll go to Coney for this one. Hey, guys, what would be your end dream in bass fishing? So, Matty, you first.
My end dream?
Yeah, where would you like to retire at?
Oh, man. I've thought about this a little bit. I don't want to stop. That's weird to say, but I've got no intentions of stopping. I love it so much. Yeah. Just keep taking the opportunities. I want to do obviously some more international stuff. I'll never actually go and compete full time just yet because of family commitments, obviously. But that could be something in the future. But yeah, as far as it goes in Australia, I just want to make sure that we're good role models and we fish and promote the sport well, and just make sure that everyone has a good time. But yeah, I got no intentions of stopping. I just want to keep competing and have fun with you guys.
Excellent. Hey, Peter's on there, so I'm going to get Harry to draw it out, and then we'll come back for you to answer that question, Coney, so you get a little bit of time to think about it. All right, so Harry, draw something out. Let's see what Peter has actually... Well, now, we're not going to tell Peter which one he's on. Just draw one out. That's it. Let's have a look at it. We're not going to tell him. So, Peter... So we know what Peter's won out of Harry's, but we need to know, Peter, whether you want to... so you've got to remember there are booby prizes in here. So do you want to select what's in the box, or do you want to go with what Harry's actually drawn out of the barrel? So, Peter, you need to tell us which you want us to do. And while we're doing that, we'll go back to Coney to tell us about where he wants to end up in the fishing.
Yeah, I'm much the same as Matty. I honestly haven't given it too much thought. Just, as long as tournaments can keep getting better and better and, more people keep coming through, we get the kids coming through and, like yourself, Paul, getting the younger kids and the new people started. It's awesome. Wayne Tiggerman and the family bassin sort of stuff down south. Like, them tournaments really get the guys, builds their confidence up to step into the bigger roles as well. So, yeah, if we can keep promoting that, keep doing our thing and just, I'm happy. I'm the same as Matty. I'm going to do it for as long as I can, as, financially as long as I can, and as long as, family commitments don't get in the road, I'll be, certainly doing as much as I can for as long as I can.
Yeah, it's probably I noticed how you said financially, but Matthew didn't, because when you're winning everything, you don't have to worry about the financial side of it.
He'll have the tax man on his door soon if he's hidden cash.
All right. So, Peter, you actually want to trust Harry. So you're going with what Harry's drawn out of here. You're not going with what's in the box. I won't tell you what's in the box. That'll stay in there for next week. But as I said, people have donated. Lee Martin Marine, my local dealership that look after me with all of my Mercury stuff, have donated this prize, which is brand new life jacket. So, Peter, you got the good prize, because there could have been a booby prize in there or not, and I'm not going to say. So, trusted Harry. So that one's out of the draw now. We throw that one out, and in weeks to come, we'll just keep emptying out what's in here. So, thank you very much, Harry. So, do you want to give Peter a big thumbs up before you go to bed and get ready for school? There you go. There it is. All right. Well done, Peter. You just have to send me your address details and I will post that out to you this week sometime. We're still going for the Dobbins rod, the Matty Langford shirt, the Langford charter, the Cod Dog line pack, the Cod Dog lure pack, and the tickets to the footy tomorrow night. Yeah, we've still got heaps to give away. Let's look at some more prizes. I've got prizes on my brain. Questions.
There's Can I just say too? I've got a prize pack for one of the best questions of the night too. Or one question that I like too. So I'll just rattle it off real quick. Is that all right?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah. So I've got a bit of a prize pack for the best question that I'll choose at the very end, and that is Cap, some first cast fishing sunscreen stuff. Cap, coffee mug. There's a multi-tool. We've got a Costa shirt, so a large Costa shirt, Costa sunglasses case, and a whole big assortment of Rapala, Fish and Bits, VMC, and 13 fishing stickers for the question that, and it doesn't even have to be a question that's come up. It's one that I'll choose at the very end. That's all right, Cap.
No, you choose. You can choose whoever you want to win that one.
Cool.
That's your. You bought the prize on. That's really cool, and we do thank you for that. Guests, I don't ever ask any of the guests to bring any prizes on, but they tend to all turn up with a prize pack or two to give stuff away. I know you guys gave away the fishing shirt last year, the Jack's Link one, which was huge. So. You all help out along the way, and it's really, really cool. Where are we? How much for Coney's hat?
Oh, look, I'm happy to sell the hat. I can probably give the shirt up too if it's if we need to. So,
Dave Lawson wants to know if those marks are still on his sounder too.
They would be. He's just got to figure out which one. Yeah, they're on there.
All right, Glenn's got a long question, so I'm going to read this out here. Question for both of you. Obviously, ABC tournaments are your main passion or focus at the moment, but you've got a taste of the big cod fishing down at Mildura. Awesome TV viewing. Is there any chance that you'll be down to fish some big cod comps in Victoria in the near future? Example, Cod National, Teams Fishing Australia, Native Classic, Central Victoria Pro Series. We'd love to see you guys do that. So obviously there are not just the bass fishermen that are watching what you guys are doing. The cod fishers down here are wanting you to come down and join in with a bit of the fun with that sort of stuff. Is that something that might be on the cards? I know, Langers, you've come down and fished the Nationals with me when time permits and calendars are right. We try and line up and do one or two comps a year down here together. But, it might be time for Langers and Coney to turn up to the Nationals and kick Pinter's ass. I see he's in the comments. So, we've got to put some pressure on Pinter too. 3-time champion of the Nationals. Maybe you guys can come down and fluke a cod to beat him.
Yeah, we'll never say never. Copeton's actually probably my local at the moment. I'm probably closer to Copeton than any other dam. But we had an absolute ball down in Victoria on the Murray, and we 100% will be back down there chasing big cod on the Murray. Whether it's in a tournament or not, with the bass side of things and a few of the other, series and whatnot that we commit to early. It may not be a tournament, and it might be something we'll take the families down to. But a houseboat on the Murray, with the families is something that's definitely on our to-do list in the near future, because that was next level, and
It is. And for people who don't know it, for Queenslanders and people all over Australia that don't really, the Murray just has this aura about it, and this feeling that you don't get until you've been there. And once you've been there, you fall in love with the whole thing. And having the houseboat, having the boats there to shoot off, doing that sort of stuff is the best way to explore the Murray. I grew up going to the Murray every school holiday. So, 20 years in Queensland, all I wanted to do was come back and live on the Murray, It just has this wicked little thing about it. I actually, I'm an early riser. I get up all the time early, and I sat and Rod McKenzie had actually shared Cold Almighty 2 on YouTube days ago, and sat there watching that, Glenn Casey and Rod and Leuven and all the guys all catching all these big cod down that way, and it just, houseboat, little tinny, whatever, and go and do that song. It could be insane. I don't know why we don't have a tournament where everyone hires a houseboat and we all just go down there and do the tournament down there. That'd be pretty wicked.
Yeah, the stuff we experienced on the Murray, yet again, our best days were with no cameras, but the stuff we experienced in pretty well 1 day's practice, what we experienced was just it's enough to want you to not leave the place, let alone get back there as soon as possible.
Yeah, look, I was privy to a few of the messages you were sending on that pre-fish day when you were slaying them, and I was sitting at my dad's place, and I had a little bit of a giggle to myself, thinking, this can't keep going, and obviously it didn't.
Unfortunately, we were thinking the same thing, but
my dad wasn't. He was like, "Oh, Langers just catches them all the time," But I'm like, I can't stay like that forever.
We should have filmed a couple of days before, but it's definitely majestic, that place.
All right. Fish on. It looks like we got $300 for the cod lure pack. We're up to about I think it was $475 for your charter, I think, Langers.
Oh, that's good. $550 for the jersey.
Yeah, $550 was the jersey, unless any late ones come in for that one. I think it was $300 for the line pack, maybe. I will go all through these and clarify them. And
the footy tickets are still pretty cheap at the moment too.
Yeah, the footy tickets are still sitting down there at Dave Lawson's bid on his own price. So
need to get on it.
So if you do want to go to Western Bulldogs, Sydney tomorrow night at Marvel Stadium, it doesn't matter who's playing. Good experience, and pretty much get out there and have some fun with that one. Any questions that have stood out for you guys that I've missed? I'm just trying to go through them. Looks like we're not the only ones that had fun with either. Thomas Pinter's actually written in here, Ricky Doyle, you can jump on for a charter with me. So a bit of banter going on there for first and second in the national.
I reckon Ricky would show you things here, I reckon.
Brendan wants to know, I don't know, Langers. Brendan wants to know, has Matty beaten Carl's record in ABT and AYC?
I think he means AFC. I don't think so. I got a long way to go.
That's exactly what he meant. But how many did Carl actually win an AFC?
Yeah, he won one season. He won all of them. He clean sweeped it.
Right. And how many ABT AOYs did Carl win? Oh, look at that! Straight around to the truth.
I think it's 3. Hang on, I'll double check.
Go over and double check that one for Brendan.
3.
So you will equal him if Coney doesn't win Clarence.
Yes.
I got your back, Carl.
I think Carl. There's a few Killer. They're the winning, like the winningest. There's a few guys that have got 2. The Carl's the only one with 3, I think.
Yeah. Bill wants to know, are you guys heading up to Chasen Barra for the ABT Barra Tour this year? I think I know the answer to that, but you guys still got more filming to do for Barra, don't you, with the AFC? So you'll be up for that one, at least.
Yeah. You're right.
Yeah, I think as far as AFC goes, we'll definitely go up there, but I'm going to try and coax Coney into trying to get up there. We've got the Native Classic at Glenbourne in October, so we've got to do that one.
Then I fly straight to America straight after that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so it's going to be pushy, and then after September there might be something happening, but who knows? I know there's a couple of special guests coming over, and we'll do our best to get there.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
I do have to thank Bill, not just for the question, but for organising this all. He got this all up and done. Bill actually lives in Lismore and has seen the devastation firsthand. I know he's been out there helping everyone that needed help. He was out in the prize boat. He was doing deliveries. He was picking people up off bridges. He was, did days and days of it. I know for the last few days he's been moving people's furniture again for them and helping out. And the first thing he did was rang me up and said, "Hey, let's raise some money." So I do have to thank Bill for all the work he's put in for that one as well.
Well done, Bill. Awesome.
All right, 450 on the charter.
Ooh.
Great bid there. Questions, Matty? Have you seen any that you wanted to talk about? Because we'll have to wrap it up very soon. We are.
I do have a favourite one. I don't want to give away the winner yet, but I do have a favourite one. But there is some good ones. One in particular, Dave Magner asked about US techniques, and it was a fair bit back.
Yeah, well, he asked the question. Do you remember it? Let's answer it.
Yeah, so he asked about US techniques and whatever else, and one of them was worms, weedless worms, or worm fishing, or whatever, something like that. That I remember reading it and thought that's a really good question. But there it is. Given so many techniques from the USA bass scene have now proven themselves here, do you think soft plastic worms will ever prove a successful tournament technique? The answer is guys are already fishing it. I know, and it opened my eyes the other day. Like I've bought tons of stuff home from the US, but guys are figuring it out to suit our fish. And I think all of those US techniques, apart from a few, obviously, will work on our bass. We've just got to figure out how to suit it to our bass. So yeah, drop shotting we know works. Carolina rigging I know works. Texas rigging works. Skirted jigs have been something that's been around for 10 years now. What are the wacky rig worms and that sort of stuff? Guys are catching a lot of fish, and I know there was one particular angler down south who caught his limit at Sinclair on a wacky rig worm. So there you go. They're definitely techniques that are viable here, and I think we just need to maybe figure them out a little bit better to get, wins and that sort of stuff. But yeah, definitely they're finding their way into our fish for sure, 100%. I thought that was a great question.
Yep, awesome. Coney, you send any questions in there you would like to bring up?
My questions are very slow, but I think the last one there was Mrs. Sump, just talking about techniques at Glenbourne with the...
Liz, there we go. I can bring that up. Yep. Because we're getting colder down here at Glenbourne, what's your favourite winter lures or techniques? Do you think it's be different this year with all the water that's gone in?
Yeah, that's a really good question because I have absolutely no idea. I think it'll be very similar, but wintertime is definitely my favourite time of year to fish Glenbourne, and the condition them bass are in at the moment. You've only got to have a look at Langer's day one bag, but predominantly wintertime they're at their biggest and fattest. Like they really get into that smelt and that, and the smelt's back this year. It hasn't really been there for the previous, 3 or 4 years with the drought. But I still love small jerk baits early in the morning, and the Fish Arrow J Shad plastic. It's a staple. It's just it's one of my go-to plastics when it comes to Glenbourne.
So, given that that's Glenbourne's so healthy at the moment, and it's back to almost getting back to its glory days. I know all the fish that I caught weighed well better than what they have for years. They were all healthy. There was not a lot of. I don't think I had too many fish with any hookworm or any sores, or they were beat up. They were all healthy, fat, good fish. Do you think that the growth rate will be as good as those Queensland fish, or are they just gonna take a few years for them to really grow up and turn into those Goliaths that we know Glenbourne for from years ago?
Yeah, I don't think they'll match Queensland, just because Queensland's got the bony brim, obviously, so it's a lot bigger bait, probably a lot more protein in that sort of stuff. And but in saying that, I definitely don't want bony brim down here, because I definitely don't want the fish just floating around out in the middle, chasing big balls of bait like they do at Somerset. But the bait is back in huge numbers at Glenbourne at the moment, and like guys with live scope would have seen it at Glenbourne. Whether that's why the carp are so crazy as well at the moment, but the bait's big, the bass are getting big. They're filling up like they're filling out, so hopefully the length starts to follow. But it's really shaping up to be a good winner leading into spring as well.
Yeah, and if you want local knowledge, go in and see Liz at the tackle shop there at Aberdeen Tackle. She'll give you all the inside information and help you out with a great range of lures. So if you're out that way, do call in and say good day to Liz. Let's see some more questions. 475.
Oh, nice one, Bob.
475. So yes, we're still going through. Poor little Harry's in there with a notepad writing all these down. Every time somebody bids, he's trying to cross it out. He's watching it all for me. So we're going to have to pull up stumps sooner or later. So don't forget to get your bids in, and I'll go through the prizes again. So we've got the line package valued at around $450. We've got the cod lure package. They were both donated by Cod Dog Lures Ricky Goward. Then we've got the Matthew Langford Charter, donated, of course, by the man himself. The shirt, that's the retro shirt, as we're calling it. That was the shirt you wore for your first AOY title, so that might be worth money in years to come. Then we've got the footy tickets as well, so don't forget those ones there, donated by Dave and the other gentleman's name. I'll look it up in a minute. And we've got the Dobbins Fury rod, donated by Brad Wixon, and that's also got 5 of the brand new wasabi, 18 gram wasabi spoons in that as well. So they can all be still grabbed. Winners so far tonight: Harry's box won the life jacket, was Peter Wright and Gary Bauer earlier on for the postcode prize. So just killing time waiting for questions. I'm going back earlier on. What's your next event, guys? What are you both going to? We'll start with you, Coney. What's your next event?
It's probably going to be the Clarence for me. I got a fair bit on at home at the moment, so I doubt that I'll be pre-fishing. Whether that'll help or not, it's probably flooded again at the moment anyway. So, but yeah, the Clarence in about 3 weeks, I think. Yeah, that'll be me.
What about you, Langers? Obviously, you had Boondoomer on the weekend with Mick Johnson. What were you, the Cowboy? What was your team name?
The Cowboy Way.
The Cowboy Way. Did you have On Vogue playing on the stereo in the background?
We sure did, every takeoff.
And
Mick was in his practice traps dancing around. It was good.
Unbackable favourites of that one. So you won enough money to go to the next comp again.
Yeah, it was helpful. I think our next comp's going to be the Clarence. But just on that, I want to go back just very briefly. I get a lot of questions, and I know Coney and yourself do too. It was brought up a little bit earlier about amateur tournament series and that sort of stuff that are out there. Queensland freshwater fishing tournaments in Queensland up here are running a really great comp for families, guys that are starting out. And I'd highly recommend to jump on those if you want to make your way up to, doing a ABT Pro or just doing a few different amateur tournament series. Queensland Freshwater Fishing Tournaments is really great. I know down south, Coney, you can probably mention it as well, but Family Bassin down in New South Wales, if you're watching from down New South Wales, I know Vic Lure-Casters, captain, they do a tournament series as well. So if you're down in Victoria, there's so many different options in all different states. If you want to get into tournament fishing, get onto the Facebook pages of any of those three groups, even ABT as well. You can do your non-boaters and your pros there. But get onto, those guys and contact them. Just reach out to them, whether it's Queensland Freshwater Fishing Tournaments, Vic Lure-Casters, or Family Bassin. Send them a message, ask them how it works, and go and do it. Because if you want to, do tournaments that we do and be involved with us, that's how to start yourself off. So, yeah, sorry.
Yeah. No, and that's what it's about. Like all of us, we attend those comps. Everyone attends those different comps, so we all have fun at those comps where we're all approachable, people approach, and that's how I've met some of the best people in fishing is through those comps, and then you build friendships and whatnot, and it all goes from there. So you are dead right. Timmy Oakley wants to know if you ever had trouble taking your boat off the trailer.
Yeah, this is a mystery, this one, because at first I just happened to be launching next to a good redheaded friend of mine, and I may have pointed a finger at him saying, "Oh, mate," but he's like, and I know when Coney's being serious. I know when, he wasn't lying, but basically, and I think you may be guilty of this, Captain. I haven't said this, but I reckon you might have strapped my boat on when it was unstrapped, because I never strap my boat on when I'm at a tournament. I undo it when I get there, and then I strap it up when I leave. So I
wish I could actually claim that. I copped a lot of. I was very clean for the New South Wales doubleheaders. I stayed out of everyone's hair. I didn't do anything apart from steal Coney's key and put it in his back locker that he actually found 10 minutes later because he went to his locker anyway. So
I knew someone done that.
That was the only thing I've done all weekend. I didn't get tubed. I got blamed for the tow ball because I went to the car. I got blamed for all the other stuff. So anyway, no, it wasn't me that put these straps back on, Matthew.
But
he points the finger at me a lot too, and I don't have anything to do with it. Cap, I know how you feel, mate.
Yeah. They were down pretty low. Maybe Timmy did it. Maybe about his head.
Yeah, it was at his eye level, I suppose.
But no, someone did me straps up. I launched my boat and I'm revving it like anything to try and get it off, and it's strapped on, so it wasn't going anywhere. I had to pull it back out, and it was a pain. It was funny.
Yeah. It's all good until Anyway, we'll leave that at that.
Someone's giggling out there, I know, saying that was me.
Somebody will know the truth. Right, Nick's got one here. I knew he'd have one sooner or later. Do you guys think that the top 5 or 6 bass guys nowadays are more equipped with the strongest skill set compared to when Carl went to America?
Right on. That's a good question.
That is good.
I reckon with what we're doing now, with the ability and the confidence, Carl's probably passed a lot of this on to a lot of us guys now too, but he probably forged the way for it. But I reckon if we fished against Carl back then the way he was going, I reckon we'd give him a run for his money, yeah. I reckon.
Yeah, but in the flip side too, like he's talking skill set. If we went to America, we've got the real benefit of social media and YouTube and stuff like that. Like realistically, it was all fresh when Carl first went over. And you didn't have that information highway that's just sitting there for you when Carl went over. It was all what we'd seen on free-to-air TV and stuff like that. We didn't have a million YouTube channels with different friggin' lakes and a million this and a million that. You know, so Carl has really led the way for anyone to take that next step from Australia, definitely. But I still think Carl's just about to hit his prime. I mean, my honest opinion is, you know, 10 to 15 years it was going to take to really get his head around. You see him when he goes to a lake that he's got confidence in. He's pushing everyone. He's getting good results. He's just about ready to crack something big. And I think that in the next 5 years, Carl will do something absolutely amazing. And we'll all be sitting here going, oh, you know, wow, that was really lucky. But it's fucking, I shouldn't say that, but it's hard work.
One of the biggest things that biggest piece of advice that Carl ever gave me before he left was, he said to me, if you're going to do tournaments and you want to do well, you've got to figure out how to win. And
well, you did that.
But as soon, and I've been thinking about that a lot lately. I've got a routine, and I've got a thing now that definitely helps me get to, you know, within a shot, I guess. But once Carl figures that out over there, which is probably, you know, it's 100 times more than what we've got to deal with here. But if he figures out that catalyst over there, he's going to be hard to stop. So he just needs to figure out how to win over in the States.
What Carl, like, and like Langers can, you know, go on too, but I remember when I come back from America after competing over there, I messaged Carl straight away and said, not that I ever didn't respect what you were doing, but I have a whole newfound respect for what you are doing, because until you get over there, until you see it, and like the scale of the tournament we fished was equivalent to every single tournament he fishes. Like the tournament that we were in was sort of, you know, very high quality and, you know, the top of every division over there. But that is what Carl's competing against every single week. Like, there's no easy tournaments for him, like no local tournaments, or like he's competing against the best 100 guys in the world every single time that he hits the water. But then going back to Nick's question, the top 5 or 6 guys here in Australia at the moment, I don't know if it's a skill set. That's just my personal opinion, but I think it's more of a mindset. Some guys are happy to catch fish. Some guys go out there and they say, if I can fill a bag and I get my 10 out of 10 for the weekend or 12 out of 12, whatever it might be, I'm happy. Whereas the top 6 guys are like, I don't care if I donut on Saturday or Sunday, because I'm going out there and I'm putting myself in the position to try and win. And that is just a different mindset that some people have. Like, I've watched guys during tournaments go to a school of fish, catch 20, 30, 40 fish a session and weigh 2 kilos, whereas the winners are weighing 4 kilos, but they do it again in session 2 and in session 3. And that's fine. That's a good way to build your confidence. But just to Nick's question, like, I think the top guys just have different mindsets, not necessarily better skill levels.
Yeah, and just chase that better fish, for sure. I mean, I am one of those people that you're talking about. I would rather fill a bag at every tournament and qualify for the grand final and then swing for the fence, because I don't believe that I am capable as you two, in the sense of catch that one. I'd get that bite and I'd lose that fish. So I'd rather catch the bag. So you guys have got a totally different mindset going out there, and we talked about it around the campsite. Totally different mindset of going out there and what you're going to do to what I'm going to do, because I'm a bag filler every time.
Yeah, you said it to me at Sinclair Cat. You said, I think you were talking about it to someone, and you said, I caught 20, 30 fish. You said, I bet you're only getting 4 or 5 bites. And I said, that's exactly.
Yeah, no, and I've never caught a full bag at Sinclair.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm
7 comps there. I 3 of them I donutted. It was my hoodoo dam, and so my mindset was catch a bag, and I had a fat time for a bag.
And as I said, I'm not picking on like guys.
No, I agree.
That's fine. That was just more you know, back to Nick's question about
Yeah.
skill levels, because there's a lot of skillful anglers out there. Like, yeah,
But
Absolutely.
there's probably, and I could name them, I reckon, without missing anyone off the top of my head, that are sitting in that top 10 echelon that would be exactly what you're saying, and that's why they're always up there, and that's why they're winning. And then you've got guys that are capable to win these comps if things go right or a few odd fish turn up, and that's exactly where I sit is in that category. And then you've got your guys that are still learning. So there is a definite difference between the three categories of fishermen for sure, and that's not being disrespectful to anyone. You know, I've watched you, Coney, time and time again. You'll swing for the fence no matter what. You know, and that's just your mindset. You're out there to beat everyone and win. And Langers, you know, you're the same. Whereas I'm quite happy to catch me bag and then try and swing for the fence.
It's live or die by the sword, really. And Sinclair
I have the balls to do it.
Sinclair was a perfect example for me because, like, Langers was out in front, and at this stage, I'm not fishing the grand final. I can't make the grand final. So, Angler of the Year is the only thing that I'm interested in at the moment. So, for Langers to be out in front, and I was sort of mid-pack or whatever, the only thing that I could do was try and get into that top, 2-3 sort of thing. Like, Langers was torn, but I swung for the fences, and I'm still throwing top water at like 10:30 on the last day at Sinclair, and I have got no fish in my well. And then it's like I get a bite at like 10:15 on top water in full sun, glassed out, and it was like a good fish, like a 1.2, and I'm just like I'm on here, I'm doing this again, and I did it for another hour and a half and never got another bite, and I'm just like, all right, well, I'm really going to bum out here shortly if I don't go and catch some fish. And literally had to rally in the last 40 minutes to catch 3 fish and make a limit. So, it's live by the sword, die by the sword, because there's plenty of time swinging for the fence, bites you in the arse real hard.
Oh, real bad.
Oh, yeah. No. And look, I have to say it was, Glenbull and Langers, like, you come in, you were last tier in, you've come in, you've pulled up and you've gone, I nearly had a nervous breakdown today because you were just fishing for those big fish, and all of a sudden it wasn't working, and then, of course, you made the right change at the right time, went and caught 2 little fish to win the comp. But the whole point was you left it up until the very, very last minute that you could leave and still catch those other fish and get home. I mean, 2 hours earlier, I would have made that decision. I would have packed my bag and gone. But
my plan was, like you said, Cap. My plan was to go up the back and hopefully get an early limit. And I had, like I said, I had five bass bites. I landed 1, and it was 11 o'clock. And I said to Troy that was with me, I said, I got to go and get my blade out. I didn't want to, but I had to. And I'm glad I did, because I caught those 2 fish that ultimately won it for us. So.
Yeah. No. Listen, we'll go over just so we can get some last bids in, because there's still bids coming in. The Dobbins rod, the Dobbins Fury rod, I think sitting at 310 at the moment. Langers' shirt, that was sitting at 550 earlier on, but I'll go back through and check. Langers' charter was over $500 for that one. I think the cod dog lures I've seen was up around the 400 mark. Cod dog lures 400. We've got
that's good going.
Yeah, we're going to be pretty close to a couple of grand here, the way that it's going. So it's been an awesome. Get your last bids in. We've been going for an hour and a half, and people are probably going to want to go to bed. What do you want to do with your prize, Langers? Do you want to give it away yet?
Yeah, I have to, because I think I know this bloke too, and I know him pretty well. But I know he'll give this to his kids. So Nick Brown, I'm gonna send you that prize back, mate. I thought that question was really well thought out and very relevant. So yeah, Nick Brown, I'm going to send him that price back. You can put stickers on the kids' bikes or whatever, mate. But yeah, it's coming your way.
Get to put them straight on the boat.
Yeah. But he's got a jersey there and a hat and coffee mug and all that stuff. So yeah, thanks, Nick. Thanks everyone for the questions. They've been awesome.
I'm going to call quits right now. We have it is 9:33. I'm going to call quits on the bidding. No more bidding as of right now. So that's Stephen Priestley is the last bid on the rod. I'm going to get Harry to go through. Sorry, Bo, we've called it. Do I get that one? That's 21:33. So is it like ABT rules when it clicks over?
No, I've been done for 15 seconds before, trust me.
Yeah, so at Glenmaggie. So cost me a check. Yeah, we'll leave it at that. Bo Everly was the last bid we're going to take at 21:33 for the rod, only because we're raising money for charity, as I said at the start of the night. I'm just not going to do so. No more bids. We'll go through and calculate who's won what and where and why. Harry can do his list up now, and we'll go from there. So, as I said earlier, Gary Bauer was the postcode prize. Peter Wright was Harry's box winner. Nick Brown was Matty's prize back. Well, we're accumulating some scores, guys. I do have to say, thanks very much, Mitch, for coming on tonight. I know we were only going to do a 5-minute skit at the start and you were going to leave, but you stayed for the duration.
Thanks for coming on, Mitch.
Langers is definitely not on, but we were able to cover both Blue Rock and Glenmaggie and talk about that. I will get you back on in a few weeks' time, Matty, when we've got a gap in schedules and whatnot, or probably after Clarence. We'll go back and talk about Glenmore and St Clair. Obviously, you've had the perfect start of the season, or almost perfect start of the season. If things had gone right, a couple of things finally didn't go your way, and you finished 8th. If those things go wrong for anyone else, we finished 50th. But So, thanks both of you guys for coming on. As I said, I will do an announcement tomorrow with all the final winners. If I've made any mistakes, doesn't matter. It's all going to charity. So Harry will go through. Is there any shout-outs you want to give, Coney, before we sort of log off? I'll give Harry probably 10 minutes or so to and I'll jump back into any other questions. Maybe we can talk about some more questions, but give Harry sort of 10 minutes to work out where we're at with the stuff. But any shout outs, guys?
No, just a shout out to yourself, mate, really. Organising this. I hope everyone at Lismore stays safe. You feel pretty useless back here, sitting at home, like you can't really do much. So, little things like this, they're really going to help them guys. But yeah, shout out to yourself for and everyone that's donated, like Dave Lawson, Bill Latimer, Ricky Doyle, Ricky Goward, and as far down south for this weekend, Mal Draper and I know Duffy's putting up a rod. Just the whole community really that's trying to get these Lismore guys back on their feet. We're thinking of you, Joey, and Adrian, Brett O'Hyde, and there's a lot of guys from that Lismore community that fish the tournament. So stay safe, and hopefully we see you back soon.
Yeah, no, for sure, definitely. Langers, you got anything to add?
Oh, just yourself and Bill Latimer with the guys from Lismore, Shane Richards, those guys down there doing it tough. I know Forty is donating one of his charters to Mel's thing too, Coney. So just all that, just the whole fishing community. The guys down south, us up here, just all trying to help. It might not mean much, but we're trying to band together and try and get something happening for a few people at least. So yeah, thanks to everyone who did ask questions, watch tonight. Really appreciate everything, and hopefully we can make a little bit of difference in someone's life and make them smile again.
I'm just going back through. I'm looking. I thought you'd talk for a little bit longer, Langus, because you always do.
Oh, sorry.
I think we're. Did you see any higher than $500 for the charter?
I think Ricky Doyle did 550. Oh, no, that was for the jersey.
Yeah, I think he's winning the charter too.
Oh,
500 for the charter. So it looks like
thanks, Ricky. Appreciate it, Ricky. Thank you. Thanks to everyone.
Stephen Priestley has actually said he's happy to match that last bid because it was after a call, and I think that's quite fair. I know Bo's a very honest man. I think I did call it before Bo actually got it. So Stephen's going to match that last bid of 350. So
Well done, Stephen.
really well. So awesome. We'll give that rod to you, Stephen. So we got, I think it's like 270, 300 footy tickets. I think Dave won his own footy tickets back. We'll go through with the shirt, but I will test all these out. There's been some awesome donations and some even better questions, which is really cool. It'll take me half an hour to go through and make sure I haven't missed anything. So I don't want to rip anyone off, and I will announce the total amount yesterday. But Langers, thanks for your donations. Obviously, it kicked it off. Thanks, Bill Latimer, for organising it all. We've got Cod Dog Lewis, Ricky Goward. We've got Dave Lawson jumped in. We've got Brad Wixon jumped in. Then we've got all the big bids. Obviously, Ricky Doyle wouldn't let us start the show until he got home because he knew he was going to bid again. The champion that he is, that's what it's about. So yeah, guys, I will say this: all of the prizes are finished apart from the footy tickets. If somebody does contact me off air for those footy tickets, I'll organise something for those, because I'd hate to see Dave pay for his own prizes. So that's the way it goes. I can't think of anything else I want to cover tonight because everyone's dropping off now because we're talking bullshit. We've nearly got 2 hours. I'm just kind of waffling on. So I'm going to call it a night, and we'll do some announcements tomorrow. Very hard to do live streaming and auctions. It's just crazy stuff. So I will do them all. I'm going to log out now. Stephen, just send me a message to my Facebook page and I'll send you all the details of where we need the stuff to go to. So if anyone's bid, I will contact you individually and then we'll go from there for your payments. Other than that, we'll be back next week with new guests and hopefully a little bit more fun. And looking forward to it. Thanks, guys, for coming on.
See ya.
Thanks,
Thanks,